So for the sake of today, be aware. Fasten your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. We're in for a new member onboarding drive. We start off by saying, if you are a new member, for you to be able to log into Toastmasters International. So remember, when we talk about TI, it's Toastmasters International that we're talking about. Where do we start? We go to toastmasters.org. And when we get to Toastmasters.org, then you will find there's the part where it says login. Just click on login over there. And if you're the first time that you are logging in, this screen comes up, and now you need to just go towards the bottom of it. So if you look further down, for first time logging in, you will see it there, and then it says create a password. So you click here on create a password. Then you go to entering the email you used on your Toastmasters membership application form. And if you can't remember that, well, then you'll just have to find out. There is another way we can work around that one too, because you would also then need to log into, you'll have Toastmasters International website open, and you need to open up your email at the same time, so that once you type your email in there, Toastmasters is going to then, and you click that button, Toastmasters will send you an email to your email account with a verification code. And now you need to enter that verification code in there. A TI email will be sent to your email address with verification code. Log into your email address, retrieve that code, and enter it in the block indicated. Click proceed as indicated. Now comes the solution. If you do not receive an email, so one, maybe you forgot what the email is, I will give you an answer to that, or you didn't receive the email, it's the same solution. Ask your VPE or a club officer to look in Club Central. Now, for those of you that are here, where clubs have not been finished chartering, you will not be able to have access to this because you have not been connected. If you received a notification from Toastmasters International because your club was chartered, you are ready to go. If not, this will give you an understanding of what lies ahead of you. And the moment that connection is made, you come back to this video, you reach out for the documentation, and you will know what to do further. So the VPE or a club officer, they will just go into Club Central, they look at your profile, and they will see which email address is there. Because sometimes when people write down their email addresses, and you have to send it to Toastmasters International, people can make a mistake with how they read a written one. And this is where it can just be corrected so that you can have that access. Once your email is correct, proceed as indicated. Now, you're done. Congratulations, you have successfully logged in, and you should have landed at a page that looks like this. If you browsed the web and you went, the website, and you went to a few different places after you logged in, and you want to get back, this is what you do. You just go and hover with the cursor over the welcome and your name, and it will reveal the menu. Then just click on My Home, because that's where the action takes place for you. Once you've done that, on a mobile view, when you just log in for the first time and you're a brand new member, you have something different happening to when you are a regular member. And I'm handling that different part. You will receive some notifications. You will now be presented with a few options of permission. So please carefully read what it says. What are you saying yes and no to? And in particular, I'm going to show you the next slide. something that's really important to take care of. Often when, these days, we don't want to have our personal details blabbered all over the internet. We want to be private, and that's okay to have that. But just take note of the following. You see, this message that comes up there states the following. It says your name on public reports. And that's why most people want to just tick, yes, I don't want my name on public reports. Or, whatever it is. It says Toastmasters International creates a number of reports for various purposes, including education tracking, which are used by club officers and district leaders. Member names are visible on these reports, but you have the right to be anonymous. Would you like to continue to have your name available on these reports? If you click yes, we will see your name. If you click no, this is what will happen. You see, when, like here, where we celebrate the Triple Crown Awards in district, can you see it says there, it gives the person's membership number and says name unavailable. And then this person has already achieved 5 levels and needs to be celebrated, but the celebration team would not know who that person is and will not be able to celebrate them. So for that reason, it is really good to have your name there so that we can celebrate you when needed. Then you can set up for the next session as choose your free path. So you will see on your device, it will automatically, after you've answered the questions, it will land at the place, choose a free path. And when you do that, you will see a few things that you need to consider. But before we go to that, let's say, why should I complete any path? Why on earth do I need to bother about paths? I just want to be a dynamic leader. Why do I need a path? I just want to improve my communication. That doesn't mean I need to do any presentations. Here are some reasons. You have the opportunity to build up to 300 unique competencies. You can select from highly specialized learning paths, and there is like dynamic leadership. So there's your education, your paths contain leadership training, presentation training, and through the process of that, you will develop communication and you will eventually build up that confidence. Online content so that you can learn anytime, anywhere. And you obtain real-world transferable skills. When you complete the projects in each path, by studying the training material, fulfilling the objectives of each project, you will gain competencies in developing many skills. So normally we come to Toastmasters because we would like to develop these skills, gain competencies. And that's the reason why, well, most of the time when I do this presentation, there is something that I start off with first, but I've moved it, coming to it in a very specific place here today. And that is where we actually marry your specific life with Toastmasters, and we blend the two together so that you do not feel overwhelmed because now there's another thing for you to do. So just understand there are 3 values of pathways to understand just for now. The 5 core competencies that you get, 5 core, over 300, but 5 of them are core competencies and the others cluster into them. And there are right now 11 paths, but there is some work taking place and there's going to be an update soon and some changes coming. And each path has 5 levels with various projects in for personal growth. So let's look at that. You see, the first level is just for you to master the fundamentals. The second level is learning your style. What is your style? It would be either communication style or leadership style. It's something where you will test yourself and understand what is your style. When you get to level 3, you are now increasing knowledge. There are projects that are compulsory and related to your path that you've chosen, and there are projects that that have election. You can elect the project that you would like. In level 4, you are now building skills, and there are electives. And level 3, 4, and 5 have projects that you must accomplish and projects that are electives that you can select from. And level 5 is for you now to demonstrate your expertise. New pathway updates will soon to be launched. Let's explore all the paths. I'm not going to go into them in detail because then it's going to be information overload, but I'm going to guide you so that when you have time, you can click around and you can see. So spend some time to explore the content of the paths, but let's just read which paths we currently have. We have dynamic leadership. We have effective coaching, engaging humor, innovative planning. I'm sure as I read them, you can see something in it that maybe resonates with you and say, oh, I want to do that. We've got leadership development, motivational strategies, persuasive influence, presentation mastery, visionary communication, strategic relationships, and team collaboration. I would suggest you just take some time, whether you are a member or not. On the Toastmasters website, you can go to the education, click on the education tab, and you will be able to see the paths and what it contains. You can explore that in the meantime. So when you get to one of these, if you click on one of those previous tiles, it will show you the path. And when it gets to the path, it will explain what it's about. And you will have other parts where you can click to expand so that it can reveal all the projects to you. And you can see what the different projects are of the different levels available to you. Then we move on to say, so, okay, I've gone through the paths. How do I know which path is right for me? I always like to use Stephen Covey's begin with the end in mind, because if you know where you want to go, it makes it so much easier. That's why if you are taking notes, and if you're not taking notes, take a note now. Okay, just this note at least. And this note will be, what is your why? And what I mean by that is, it's critical for each one of us to know. If I say, why am I existing? It sounds like a big, broad term, but by now you would have discovered some gifts and talents and abilities and passions you have. And pretty much you can figure out, this is my why. This is what, when people talk about it, I light up, I get excited. This is what excites me. Now, if that, which is your why, is maybe not necessarily equal to where you are employed and what you are doing. And that's okay, because not everybody gets to do what they're passionate about. However, through Toastmasters, you can explore your passion and grow the skills and development within your passion. And you can look at your professional life and see how that links in there so that the skills are kind of combined. And then you as a person will realize, through Toastmasters, am I not only developing the skills, transferable skills that I can use in my business or in my company or at work or industry or whatever it is, but I can use those skills to develop my passion. There has to be purpose in which direction you're going. So once you have that one clear, do not select a path if you do not have that one clear. And I tell you why. Let's continue here. So I say, begin with the end in mind. That's your end. Your end is to know your passion, to know who you are, why you are here. Know your why. You can also know your why you joined Toastmasters, and make sure you answer those questions. And then you want to, as I said, know why you are here. Then you can either do one of two things. You can do an assessment, or you can go directly to select the path you want. If you've been fiddling with a path, seeing what's there, and you say, that's the one, you can go and select that path. However, if you feel, I think I want to do the assessment, you can do the assessment even after you've become a Toastmaster. You can do it many times. There's no cost in it, but it helps to direct you to what path you should be taking. And in particular, if you are answering the questions with your why in mind, it makes it so much easier for the assessment tool to guide you to the correct path. So it's critical that you know your why. It's critical that you answer every question with that why in mind. Now, once you've come to the place, it will then ask you the question, do you want to take an assessment? Or then you can click continue to take the assessment. When the assessment pops up, then all you do is you select the desired language that you want, and you click the start button, and off it goes, and you complete that assessment. And once the assessment is done, it'll immediately throw out paths in an order, and the top 3 that they suggest for you are the first 3 that appear there. Now, you can select any path you want. You do not have to do what the assessment tells you to do. However, if you are in a company and a corporate has chartered a club, our advice to a corporate chartering is that everybody selects the path presentation mastery. Because most of the time, that's the main reason why the corporate started and wanted the club to get started, to help their staff be masters of presentations. And when a new club starts and you've got so many people on board, it makes it so much easier for everyone to help each other right in the beginning when they are on the same path. So that's what we always recommend, and that has worked so well over the years. However, if you're in a corporate and you have been advised that everybody should do this presentation mastery, but you saw another one that you think, oh, I want to do dynamic leadership as well, go ahead, select the presentation mastery as the corporate has indicated. But after you have selected the presentation mastery, you can then go back, and you are welcome to purchase the dynamic leadership path for yourself. It's $20. It's not a lot of money. And you can do both paths at the same time. There's no problem with that. These are your options that you have. Now, once you've selected and you've done your assessment and they give you an indication which ones they recommend for you to do, you can still, to make sure which recommendation, which you want, you can follow the previous steps and select learn more to expand some more information. You see, they have the little blocks there, learn more about, and then whatever the path is. So there's the top 3 recommendations. You can still go and click on those if you can't remember which is which, and then you can make your final selection on which one you want. So once you've done that, when you do the assessment, Toastmasters International recommends the top 3. You choose one path, and that one is the one for free. Or you choose a second path, and that's the one that you pay $20 for. You may do a different path than the assessment indicated. So once you've now decided, okay, this is the path that I want to do, then you just select which one you want, and you click the continue button that will pop up after you have done that. And it will just ask you again to make sure, is that the one that you want? Are you happy with it? Yes, continue. And then it will look as if you're buying something on a store, but it is zero priced. And then you just go ahead and finalize that purchase, which is a zero purchase. Now, you have selected a path, and in your process of coming on board, as I said, there's some of the items happens only that first time, and afterwards that doesn't happen again. So now that you've selected the path, this comes up and it tells you what you can do. But if you scroll down on that screen, it gives you an option of a video that you can watch, or you can go to Basecamp. Now, if you don't know what Basecamp is where you will find your path that you selected. That is the platform we use at the moment, Basecamp. Watch the video. Once you're finished with the video, go to Basecamp so that you can find it. However, should you go to Basecamp, where you'll find your path, select it, you must do this. Okay, here is a big you must do this. And for that, I'm going to stop sharing, talk a story, and get back. The next thing that we have to do. So all that I've showed you for now is this. If you are not a member yet and there's a club charter busy taking place, you can log in, click on education program, look at the paths, see what the content is, make yourself ready. If you are a member, then yes, you can do the steps that I've indicated for you today. And you can come to the point where you select a path. And when you click that button to go to Basecamp, it will pop up with that thing about if you haven't given permission, click here yet. If the site doesn't open, click here yet. It has to do with this. And if you're not tech savvy, it's okay. But please just understand this. The norm settings for all browsers are do not allow pop-ups, because that's what people use to infiltrate your PC with viruses and all kinds of things. So they don't allow pop-ups. But our training material, the mechanics of the website, you need to allow a pop-up. So you want to not be general and say, allow all pop-ups. You want to be specific that you allow the Toastmasters training material pop-ups. And the next few slides are very detailed in showing you what to do. And I'm not going to go through that detail now because it'll just make you so confused. It's too much detail. But it's the kind of detail that when you receive the PowerPoint in a PDF format and you are looking at it on your PC and it says, go here, then you can go there and click that. Then it explains what happens there. Now you can look on your PC and you can make it happen, because that is probably the most, I don't have another word to say, difficult part of onboarding you. It's a little bit technical, but it's not too bad either. If you just say, okay, 10 minutes, silence around me, let me read carefully and do what it says. Within 10 minutes, these few steps, and probably less than 10 minutes, I'm saying 10 to just give you some grace, you should be able to get it done, okay? So do not worry about the technicality, but I went into much detail in the PowerPoint for the sake of when you receive it as a PDF, it will help you and you will be able to come on board beautifully and powerfully. Okay, now that you understand that I'm going to go tuk, 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 tuk through it, don't be worried, because it gives you links to the different browsers, whichever browser you are using, and what you should do for your browser as well. It says, if the training doesn't load, click here to open it. But it's best not to click there because you'd have to do that every time. It's best to go and do what I share with you to do right now. So do this next before anything else. Because once you've done this, it's set for life for you. And there are other mechanics in the website that if you haven't done this and you finish a project at the end and you close the tab, because you haven't done this, it won't check off that you've done that project. It will always be hanging. So it's critical that you understand the way the website is set up. This is an important step. Why do you have to do what follows? In order to be able to connect with your training. And on some PCs or phones, the training page will not open as it is being blocked by pop-up blockers. When you have finished a project or a level and you close the tab, it will not register that on TMI. So it's critical for you to do that. Click on, if you have Toastmasters website open, you will see there's one that says, a tab that says Education Programs. When you click on Education Programs, you will have to scroll down right to the bottom of the page, and there you will see Education Program FAQs, Frequently Asked Questions. You would like to click on that and open that up. And then you just scroll down to number 13 currently, and that thing changes all the time when things are happening. And other information on those frequently asked questions are like, when is the new program coming out? What is involved? You can read through those questions and become educated. But question number 13 is the critical one. Why do I need to disable my pop-up blockers on Basecamp, and how do I do so? I've shared with you why. Now you can see they have the Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome, block pop-ups in Microsoft Edge, and Apple Safari support. Those are the basic browsers that most people use. And when you click on any one of those, it will tell you exactly what you're supposed to do. I quickly go through. If you go to Google Chrome, the fast way, when Chrome blocks pop-ups from the website, it displays an icon with a red X in the corner of the Omnibox. You will see that on your far right. You'll see there's that little cross on the far right. So as you want to see pop-ups from this website, click on the icon to see site-specific options. So when you click on that, it gives you another little menu, and then it says always allow pop-ups from redirects, and then it gives you the Toastmasters website, and then you can say yes, allow from that. Click done, and Bob's your uncle. I don't know why Bob must always be the uncle. Nevertheless, select always allow pop-ups and redirects, and then click done on your computer. That's the fast and easy way on Chrome. So now there are the longer ways on what you do. And I dropped off. Can you imagine that? Let us see if we can continue. Okay, so I've gone through the little pop-ups and what needs to happen in the different accounts, and you are able to see that better on the PDF. Go through it slowly, and it'll make things so much easier for you. Okay, now let's find that path and look around. Toastmasters website. For those of you that are new, can you see we are celebrating 100 years? In 1924, Toastmasters started. And this year we are celebrating 100 years of existence. Okay, so here is the Toastmasters website. I'm not showing you as a new person. I am just logging in as me, and I'm taking you quickly to the training material. You're going to see the path that I'm busy with, and I'm just going to give you a little bit of a feel on that. I'm going to go to Basecamp, and I'm going to go to my club, and I'm going to go to Parts and Learning. See, here's that video again, and there's a lot that you can, there's so many places on the website that you can fiddle around, but I just want to take you here for now. Now, I have other items here, but the part that I'm busy with is this one, motivational strategies. Although I've bought others, I've bought innovation planning and team collaboration. I want to do that next. I just want to finish motivational strategies. And I have done level 1. You can see if I click on level 1, this is then, as a new member, this is your educational portal. This was the pop-up that would have been blocked. And because I've done what I need to, I managed to be able to enter my education. Here you can see I've done it all because it gives you a check mark for everything I've done. And level 1 is checked. It means it is done. And I can even give myself my certificate that I have completed it. Now, I don't know if that pop-up of my certificate shows with you because of the way I've selected it. It might not show with you. Nevertheless, you can click on there, view the certificate, and you can print out your certificate and celebrate yourself. If nobody else does, you can celebrate yourself. And these are compulsory projects. The first one being your icebreaker. Let's browse through level 1, project 1. Normally, most of them have a thing called activate. When you select which you want, you have to click activate, and you just wait for a moment. And then it says launch. So just understand, when you click activate, just wait a moment and it will click launch. Let's go back to icebreaker. Now, if you click here, icebreaker, it just tells you a little bit about the icebreaker, but where you go for your material. You don't have to click the arrow there. You can just click straight on launch and it will load the material. Depending on the website and the speed of your internet, etc., this could be a while of waiting while this one loads. So while it's loading here, I would like you to understand that whatever it is we're going to see right now, all of what I'm going to show you immediately here, that is your actual training material, is available as a PDF for you. So that means if you do not have great internet at home and you are able to access this online at work, you can download the PDF onto your phone. When you get home, you can browse through it and you can prepare and do everything you want to for your project, which makes it really nice. And now you can see the way it's divided. There's a top part of the page and a bottom part of the page. The bottom part of the page gives you the entire menu that you can navigate through. And there are 4 places that you need to go to that's critical. You've got to do everything, but the critical 4 are, you have to make sure you assess your skills before. Now, here it says your assignment. So right at the beginning, you will find that the page will darken and then you think, what's going on here? What's going on here? It's just directing you to look at the bottom. And now it tells you, printing your project. You may download and print a PDF version of this project for instructions. Use the resource below, and then you can click on that and it'll open the PDF and you can download it. But when you want to go back to the top, just click on directions and it will be normal for you again. So it tells you with your icebreaker, the overview is, the purpose of this project is to introduce yourself to the club. Learn the basic structure of a public speech. The overview, write and deliver a speech about any topic to introduce yourself to the club. Your speech may be humorous, informational, or any other style that appeals to you. So it's about you. Now you will click the arrows and you will go through it, and now you arrive here. Now they tell you, what do you do? How do you handle Here are the directions on how to handle the assessment. When you've finished reading the directions, then you can start and you can click on it and go next. And I'm just going to do that so that you can finish your assessment before. Once you have gone through all the materials, you've gone through every section here, you will then end up, a place that you must always remember is evaluation and resource. And the reason why you want to remember that is, if you've been to a Toastmasters meeting, you would have learned that you have to come with a evaluation form when you present your project. So here's everything. This is the page with everything. Your evaluation resource. There's print your project again. There's an outline, a special outline they've given you. They teach you how to evaluate and your feedback page. This is where your evaluation resources are and your project is. And when you come back from the club and you've presented your project, then you go to assess your skills afterwards. And congratulations, you're done. They're teaching you because this is the fast one. And this is the last page that's there. Welcome, you're done. Once you've done that, you actually go and the tab where the training is, you click that. You just wait a minute once you've done everything. Then you click the cross to close it. And then it will do the magic and it will give you a check mark that you have done your training. We've done the part looking around the path. I just want to share with you the following. Please consider this. Buy yourself a 30-page flip file. So let's just see, how do you provide proof or project completion? Your VPE will need proof that you have completed your assignments. So purchase a 30-page flip file. This is not a must, it's a recommendation. File your project notes on the left and your evaluations on the right. When you have completed a level, you can easily provide copies of the evaluations for your VPE's approval. This is what it looks like. I have it like that. My motivational, motivational strategies is my 6th path. So I have 6 of these books with all my projects in that I have done. As you can see them there. Left side is the project notes, and on the right side is the evaluation. And that's just how I print the front out for the different ones I have. Example of 2 of the parts that I've completed. So what is next? We are done with this part of the presentation. What we've done is we've helped you to understand that there are paths. They are your educational paths. You can explore them without being a member to see what is there. When you're a member, we've showed you where to go to connect, how to get started, the first time items that will appear, helping you to direct yourself, encouraging you to take that assessment, making sure you keep that why in mind. And when you've selected that path, where to go to get started. I trust this has been helpful. When you get to it, you will be able to press play and pause. You'll watch the PDF and you'll have a lot of resources available to you. And with that, it is 1900 hours. That means part 1 is done and we're ready to ship up for the next part.